From there, we show you another exhibition, interesting works of art. Take a look.
In folk tales, the search for knowledge usually involves embarking on a journey. And this applies to the mission here. It is to know the history of the nation called Nigeria, and the source of information is the Africa House of History, located off the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway in southwest Nigeria. In this building lies a story that connects the dots of how Nigeria arrived at its present state. From the days of transatlantic slavery, to knowing about the discoverers, to colonialism, to the quest for and attainment of independence, and the unfortunate period of the Civil War. And who better to educate than the children?
Before Nigeria became a republic, Nigeria had a Biafra war.
Nigeria is a West African state, and we were colonized by the British, and we have many resources.
As the young ones file in, the lesson begins. Culture and history are sold to them.
Who was the very first president in Nigeria? After Nigeria became a republic, who was the first president? Very good.
The children are amazed by the history lesson, and there is a lot more appreciation for the land of their birth.
I learned about how the slaves were maltreated. I learned the father of Northern State. I learned about Mongo Park, and I learned about Richard London. I learned about how Nigeria became a republic.
I learned about what we have in Nigeria, about the transatlantic trade, and also I saw some of the pictures I've never seen and the faces I've always wanted to see, and there are many statues here, and I would like to come here again to see more of them.
One of the art directors speaks on how identity crisis led to the setting up of the museum.
The best way to know us as a people is to go deep down into our history. Where did we start from? How did we come to be who we are? How did Nigeria become the way it is today? This place educates you. This place has been divided in such a way that when you come in here, it takes you stage to stage. We have the very early stages. We have the transatlantic trade, the slave trade that happened. And we also have the external influences in Nigeria as well, as you've seen earlier. And then we also have this place as well, where you talk about the Biafran War, how Nigeria got its independence, how Nigeria became who she is today. there's a lot for us to learn here. And I believe that the environment also takes you away from the hustle and bustle of the city and brings you down here to a very serene place where you can actually come and learn. It's a very good place to learn. So I believe that this place would create in the minds of a lot of Nigerians, even with our younger generations. You can see how colorful the artwork is, how very interesting the artwork is, and they were all awed by it. They were all taken away by it because it brings to mind and helps them with their learning and everything, and for them to know exactly where they're coming from so they can carry the history along with them so it doesn't fade in their minds as they grow.
To know who you are, there must be that conscious effort to go back in time in order to move forward again. And for Nigeria, this might just be the remedy.
He's described by many as a poetic painter with a romantic touch, whose works of art represent his experiences, folk tales and landscapes. He's also composed and directed the music for Wole Soyinka's famous Death and the King's Horseman at the Royal Exchange Theatre in Manchester, England.